Alright, starting off the episode with Gunner's Ground. This may seem like a really random start to the second episode. I did say that I was going to do some Slayer, which I did. I now have birds as the next Slayer task. I didn't start any mining. This is technically the same day as the first episode. I just wanted to give it a little bit of a split up. But what this does give me is 5 quest points, and all the quests that I did in the first episode, we have 25 quest points now to go to Maze Caravan. Also 15 crafting from that, which is great. With Maze Caravan, I'm going to put that on crafting. I probably should have put that on herblore, but with Maze Caravan, it gives us a lot of really, really great stuff every 25 quest points. So every 25 quest points, you head over to her and you can claim a dice. With that dice, you get a certain amount of coins and a really high chance for fortunate components, which is another really big thing for Ironman, because when you're making Essence Finality or EOFs or really any of the Hydrix jewelry, you're going to want a lot of fortunate components. So I'm going to go ahead and roll this, and hopefully we do get a fortunate component, which I believe that is not. All right, yeah, so that is not a fortunate component. It is a armor upgrade for melee, but right now I still only have 15 defense. I've not really been training melees, so yeah, but that is a really good drop for that. And what I'm going to do is now I'm going to go ahead and start to mine. So keep an eye on the mining level, and we'll kind of go from there. I did forget from that last clip, we do get 250k from each time that we do that. I think it goes up after a little while depending on how many quest points you have, but that one was 250k, which is a really great start. I'm going to go ahead and do a shop run. I'm just going to go ahead and grab some runes so that we can kind of continue on with magic training. Right now we're only level 10, but I just want to make sure that I have enough runes to go forward. Okay, so starting this clip off, I am here at the museum. I do have the smithing lamp from the Knight Sword. I did do some mining and smithing as a little AFK activity. I also did a little bit of Slayer, got up to level 13. Nothing crazy really unlocks until, later on down the line. But what I'm going to do, I have the statue collection bag, even though it doesn't look like it. Not sure what that visual glitch is. But I'm going to add statues to the plinth, which I have, looks like herblore, smithing, and mining. Got up to 14 smithing, 24 mining. And I'm going to claim the 12k and get up to 31 smithing. So a lot of unlocks here. I do want to get Beneath Cursed Tides, I believe it is. Is that the one that unlocks the monthly? But I'm going to go ahead and do a few more quests and see how this goes. Alright, so looking at the quest list, I do want to just get Waterfall quest done. I know there's a ton of XP that you get within Strength and Attack, and right now that is kind of lacking. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I believe I'm going to continue on with some of these easy quests like Jungle Potion, Necromancy, get some of these early levels up, and continue on from there. Okay, that is the end of the waterfall quest. Like I said, we get a huge amount of attack and strength. We do get a few gold bars, which would be pretty useful later on. I don't think the mithril seeds are used for anything except for getting augmentable flowers. But that did get us up to 30 attack and strength, which are a few of the requirements for the Beneath Cursed Tides quest, which allows us to do the giant oyster every month. I missed that on the last clip, but I'm going to go ahead and continue maybe leveling up a few of my combat skills. I have zombies right now, so I'm going to go do some of those in the Lumbridge Catacombs and just start to work on that. I am going to start, actually before I start doing that, I'm going to go ahead and get some of my attack, strength, and weaponry up. So I'm going to go ahead and get mithril, I believe. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and buy some mithril items. And I think I can only wear iron right now, but I'm close to steel, so I may just go ahead and buy steel and work on that as well. Alright, so that is level 10 fire making with one of the challenges done. I'm standing right here because I'm just going to get this divination one done and kind of mark the start of the divination leveling. I still don't have the access, or not the access, but the timing right to get any of these rifts opened and kind of set. But what I am going to do is I'm going to start this. I'm just going to get the daily challenge done and go back to Slayer, which I actually haven't started as of yet, but that will be coming up next. What I'm going to do is I'm going to claim these rewards for cooking. Ended up getting up to 21 cooking, which is a requirement for Ghost Ahoy. But I'm going to go ahead and AFK some Slayer for the night. I know these levels are kind of everywhere right now, but because the early Ironman kind of game is a lot of the same things, and you're trying to get to just sections of the game where you're getting better abilities and stuff like that. I just want to show a little bit, or as much as I possibly can, and just kind of go from there. I think one of the things I'm going to do next is go ahead and unlock Canifus. I think that's going to be a really good place for me as well, and maybe Menaphos is going to be up next as well. Those are really good kind of hubs for what we're going to need to do in the near future. For our 5th Slayer task, we did end up getting the combat level to be able to come over to Vanica and get our first task from him. I'm going to go ahead and get this task. I'm going to work on Slayer a little bit and see what we have, and it is wolves. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to Berthorpe, kill some of those wolves. I'm going to pick up the bones for summoning in the later episodes. I know I'm going to need to get that up, so I'm going to work on getting some of those bones. Mining. I do have a mithril pickaxe in the bank. I may just finish up this ore box and then go grab it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find some coal and then make another trip of iron and just do some smithing while I'm AFKing. Alright, so just finishing up some of these bronze arrowheads. I kind of just use all the bars in my metal bank. I kind of want to get to 40 smithing and mining to unlock adamant, because I know that burial starts, and I do want to get some favor up here. But for the time being, I think I may switch over to doing some wood cutting. I'm 23 right now, but I need a lot of arrow shafts to get that taken care of. So I'm going to pull out my wood box. I don't need my coins, but I'm going to go, I think I can do willows. Yeah, so I'm going to go do willows. I did upgrade my hatchet as well, but what I'm going to do is go buy some feathers, go do some willows, and then come back when I finish up all of these arrowheads. Looking back in, I realized that to actually fletch willow logs into the arrow shafts, you need 30 fletching. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to get a few of these arrow shafts. I think maybe I'll do another 200 or 300 of them, and then make them into iron arrows. I hope. Can I make iron arrows? Let's check that. I can. So I'm going to make some iron arrows with these arrowheads that I have, and then hopefully be able to make steel arrows as well as use willow logs for arrow shafts. Alright, so here doing Jungle Potion right now, I did focus a little bit on Slayer, but I did some mining, some wood cutting. I'm going to get the 32 quest points to start Dragon Slayer, and I'm going to get some range levels up so that I can get Elvarg down. The, what is it, second Rogue's Purse? Oh, Jesus. Second Rogue's Purse for the Jungle Potion. I can't seem to grab it, and this Joker is making a fool of me. So I'm going to sit here, I'm going to regain some HP, and then I'm going to kind of go from there and try to get that again. I have one right now, but I think on the wiki it says I should take two if I want to do Zogre Flesh Eaters. Second one, as you can see, I am a sneeze away from death. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass this in, and this should be the end of Jungle Potion. There we go. So some Herblore XP, it's in a lamp. I keep forgetting that on RS3 a lot of these quest rewards are in lamps. But here is the XP, got me up to 15, and a few more quests that I can do. I'm going to go ahead and do Witch's Potion now, or Witch's House, to get some more XP in hit points, to make myself not a living sponge. Just ended up getting 20 defense, so now I can wear my steel armor. Apparently I could start getting Slayer headgear as well, but I'm going to go ahead and put this steel armor on, go finish Witch's House, and kind of decide what the play is next. Kind of making upgrades left and right here. I don't know what I should do next, but I'll figure it out now. Done. I forgot how many quest points this one actually gives, so really good amount of Constitution, so got all the way up to 28, so I'll be able to live a little bit more. And I think we can kind of open up, yeah, the Champions Guild. I can go ahead and buy a rune hatchet too. I may do a few more of these kind of little quests just to kind of boost up my quest points to get a little bit more money from Maze Caravan, but I'm going to go ahead and probably start Necromancy. I do want to unlock Bone Shield, Lesser Bone Shield. Where is that? Is it here? There it is. Yeah, so up to 25 Necromancy and unlock that. I may do a few things with that, but we'll go from there. Was just sitting here thinking about kind of how the Witch's House went. I don't have very good food right now, so I may start to fish. I don't know what I'll get up to currently, but I may go for maybe some herring or get up to fly fishing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to head to Daemonheim. I'm going to try to get some dungeoneering levels and some of the tokens, because I want to unlock the gem bag, a few of the herbicide, bone crusher, things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to start that tutorial and maybe get up some range levels within there. A few dungeons, got up to floor 3. I've been using magic inside the dungeons. I'm not sure if that is something that I'm going to continue to do. But I ended up getting up to level 28 woodcutting and level 9 fishing. So I just have one level left till herring. And I may just do some sardines for the time being. I know I'm going to need a few for the Gertrude's Cat quest. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start and kind of knock out a few of the quests, meaning Violet is Blue, Violet is Blue 2, and Jack of Spades, just to get up some XP lamps. I'm going to toss them into Herblore, and kind of get this skill started a little bit, I want to unlock this herbicide as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I do need to run an errand, so I'm going to do the errand and continue on with that. Coming to the end of Violet is Blue, I'm going to do the second one as well. Pretty much all of these lamps are going to be going into Herblore, which is the plan. I did just take a look at Dragon Slayer as well as the Herblore level for anti-fires, which are pretty high up there. I think they're about 70 Herblores. Yeah, 69 Herblore. So I'm not going to have those for a while, but I did see that you can get an anti-fire mix from some of the barbarians in the ancient cavern, so I may do that just to get a few. Try to start bossing with King Black Dragon, or I may do some Giant Mole. But there is Violet is Blue. I'm going to go ahead and do the second one now. And that is the end of Violet is Blue 2. They have some more lamps. I ended up getting to 21 Herblore with the first grouping of them. Let's see where we get this time. Hopefully we get some good levels there, all the way up to 32. I still want to start farming. That's one of the things that I haven't gotten into, but I know I need to get to level 9 to get Guam. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get that. I'm also going to get some divination levels as well after I plant some things so that I can start farming and making divine herb patches like it says here, divine herb patch 1. So I'm going to get some of that energy and start farming now. Bit of a detour. I did want to get some thieving XP to start getting some good seeds for farming, and then I realized that the secondary drop table for farmers is actually unlocked after you finish some of the I'm blanking on the name of it, Thieves Guild quests. So just did a little bit of that. I see that I have some Thieves Guild pamphlets, but what kind of the biggest thing is working towards getting the Thieves Guild fully unlocked. There's some really good things that you get with that, but for the time being, I'm going to go do some AFK divination. I don't think I need that anymore. And go from there. So I'm going to leave these in here, and we will see you when I unlock something. Alright, that is going to be Priest in Peril. That is going to be unlocking Canifus, which is a great start. Some prayer XP over here. I'm going to get 20 prayer, which is a great start. I'm going to kill this ghoul for the time being. I think I need to do that to pass through. I'm not 100% sure. But I'm just going to kill this ghoul and go from there. And this is the completion of Vampire Slayer. I am going to now go do the fishing contest, kind of taking out the start of the vampires. I know later on there's a lot more to be done, but doing this one right now. I'm going to go to Catherby, finish up the fishing contest for some fishing levels, and go from there. Vampire Slayer, I am going to use this combat XP lamp on ranged to get me up to 25, which is a great start. So now I can upgrade my bow to Willow. I bought a few of these from Low in Varrock. And handing in the trophy for the end of fishing contest. I just hopped up to 18 fishing, so what I'm going to do now, I think I'm going to try some sea bait fishing. I'm probably going to try to get up to 20 and then switch to trout. I did get 25 ranged from the Vampire Slayer quest, which gave us quite a few items in here. I'm heading down to Lumbridge right now to continue on fishing. I ended up just getting 20 from some of the fishing bait I had in my bank. But now I'm going to do some fly fishing for some better food now. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright. Did some AFK just mining and crafting. I am up to level 20, which allows me to cut sapphires. What I'm going to do is I'm going to swap over to the uncommon gem rocks, I believe, and start to get some of the... Looks like I can do rubies, emeralds, and sapphires. I'm going to train my crafting on some of those. I do want to get a good amount of crafting XP. Banked so that I don't have to worry about it later on, but I am going to make one of these lapis lazuli rings into a ring of luck. So I'm going to do that and then switch over to uncommon gen rocks. Okay, so little bit of a editing mosque here. I am just doing some divination, but I did want to thank you all for tuning in. And I do want to say I'm going to be changing how things are edited. I'm kind of starting to try to figure out editing right now, as well as kind of how to record. So episode 3 may be a little bit different. If you like how this episode went, or if you have any recommendations or anything that I can do in the long run, just post it in the comments and I will be sure to read it. And thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.